and he did it with Zoo. So I'm really surprised as well. Maybe trying to sort of expand his repertoire and play this Reno deck, and maybe he thinks that the future of Warlock is Reno. And so right now we're going to go into Zoo Warlock versus this aggro Shaman for the Rat. And StrifeCro looks pained already, just going into the mulligan. We'll see what he decides to do here. StrifeCro's actually he's been playing tournaments all day. He's played in been playing in the ONOG for the last couple hours. Earlier today he was playing in the Xfinity Invitational for a few hours. So
yeah, I mean that's a good point too. I mean just the amount of games that he's been playing today. I wonder if that's starting to wear on his mental endurance at all. You play that many games of Hearthstone in a row, and think through everything as hard as you can. It is going to take some energy from you.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Rat finding a pretty good curve here. I mean, he's got Tunnel Chalk, Totem Golem, with an Archesquire to fit in here. Not bad, not shabby.
This is what we call a dream hand from the Rat right now. I mean, Totem Golem and Tunnel Chalk, easily the two most important cards in the deck. Mm-hmm. And when you have them on turn 1 and turn 2, especially in a matchup that's so board-centric, it's very easy to win the board. Yep. And that's really the big story here, is that he just got everything. And StrifeCro going to go with Knife Juggler here, try to threaten anything on this Tunnel Chalk, but he's going to get the bad news.
Yeah,
the Rat has it all. Wow, 2 pair. I got 2 pair, dealer.
Both Tunnel Chalks, both Totem Golems, first 4 cards, or first 5 cards. This is how you do it. And he can Mortal Coil here, but he needs Soulfire. I guess Flame Imp is pretty good.
It's going to help a little bit here, but I mean, just look at the Rat's hand. He's going to be able to just run over everything.
Yeah. I mean, he could even Lava Shock Tunnel Chalk here.
I don't know if that's better than using the health on the Totem Golem. I mean, it could be. But you expend a card, you get in 3 damage this way as well. Yeah, I think using the health of the Totem Golem is going to be a little bit better here than having the Lava Shot. Because your card economy is going to get really thin.
Yeah.
In this situation, so you have to be able to save something. And having Totem Golem and Lava Shock this turn to answer 2 things that could hit the board and just start pumping damage to face afterwards, it's a big deal. And usually Power Overwhelming is okay, but this is not one of those situations.
No, not at all. And has to play the Blood Imp just to try and encourage a weaker trade from the Rat. It's going to end up making a decent difference here, if only because he now has to, unless he hits this juggle, he now has to trade in this Totem Golem. We'll see. When it rains, it pours. Because now he can make the best trades.
Well, this actually isn't horrible for StrifeCro. He does have a way to actually use the Blood Imp now. So I'm trying to find anything here for StrifeCro to give him something.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he can use Blood Imp. He also has Forbidden Ritual, which will allow him to sort of trade up using Abusive Sergeant, Direwolf Alpha, Power Overwhelming. So now he's got to figure out, do I use the Power Overwhelming this turn, trade in, and then Forbidden Ritual, or do I just go make Tentacles now? And hopefully I don't take too much damage in the process. And we'll see what the Rat picks up. Sir Finley is actually an incredible draw, because that just gives him, high likelihood he picks up Life Tap or Steady Shot, which both of those cards are going to put a much shorter clock on a StrifeCro.
I'm curious if he wants to roll a Totem here. If he rolls Healing Totem, this game is over.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if it's worth it to try to roll a Healing Totem here. I mean, he doesn't really have too many other plays outside of this. I'd like to see him think about that for a very long time before making this decision. But, a way to kill a 1/1 here, it's still pretty solid too. I mean, he gets to clean up basically the entire board here, even in a Lava Shock. Yeah, it wants to kill everything, keep his entire board around, and now StrifeCro's in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be able to clear the board and push 8 damage. I believe 8, as long as he makes the trades I expect him to with Flame Juggler and the Argent Squire, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So, yeah, StrifeCro's in some trouble.
Yeah, down to 15, facing 6 minions. No way to swing this board back. I think that double Totem Golem, double Tunnel Trog is an okay opener, TJ.
Oh, yeah? Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
All right, well, StrifeCro's going to try and find a way. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. That's 13. I mean, eliminate the possibility of life tap. Do you go for trades here? Actually, no, that's 14 because the overload.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think you put him at 1. Go ahead.
Yeah, make it so hero power alone kills him next turn.
The old turn 6 lightning bolt, yeah.
I mean, is there a possibility that he gets punished by Defender Vargas? Is that a thing?
He's going to trade the Finley, and he still takes away the life tap here. He gets to take out the Direwolf Alpha, remove some of the punish here that could possibly be from Defender Vargas, rest his damage mode base, StrifeCro. I don't even know if there's a combination of cards that could possibly get him back in here. Like, I think if StrifeCro could pick the cards he wants to draw, he might still lose the game. Now, granted, he'd have to pick Warlock cards still, but...
Wow. All right, concedes. The Rat takes game 1 very convincingly. It's amazing the things a Shaman can do with Shaman cards.
Scamaz, am I right?
Yes. The answer to that is yes. Scamaz, you are right. Yeah, still though, I think StrifeCro is not going to have too much trouble finding a win with that Zoo Warlock. It's just he went to a matchup that supposedly favored in Zoo, who usually can take control of the board very early, and just could not find a win. So he's going to throw it out again. The Rat's going to throw out Control Warrior. StrifeCro did it last series, but it was under some pretty strong recursors.
Yeah, against a slightly different build as well. I mean, this is just a more traditional Control Warrior style deck. And Chess Dudes was the N'Zoth build that Fibonacci had played to rank 1 last season. Mm-hmm. And so the difference in these two, not going to be too tremendous, but certainly a few less clunky cards, I think, in the Rats deck. You know, having an Elise in there just to maybe have something on turn 4 that can start contesting board pressure. Yeah. Or something extra, rather. I mean, you still have the Bloodhoof Brave, but you know, every little bit counts here. And now, does StrifeCro just feed the Juggler to the Fiery War Axe? I don't think he does. And
no, probably a tap.
We've seen him tap a lot in this situation, and this game is going to be a deviation, so it goes to the Possessed Villager here instead.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen StrifeCro in that situation 3 times now, that being the third, and in the first 2 times he would tap, and this time he plays Possessed Villager. Maybe it's a nod at the matchup, and he just feels like he needs things on the board in this matchup, but definitely hard to tell. But this is... And it doesn't line up the best with Ravaging Ghoul, but it's a decent clear. And the Rat has just all the tools for this that you want to see in this matchup. I mean, gets the Fireworks in the opening, has Ravaging Ghoul, Bash, which are both great tools to fight for the board, and if things get out of hand, do into the brawl as well.
Yeah, so here goes the Ravaging Ghoul. Well, I think Rat's worried about right now is Abusive Sergeant to trade up into the school, but
yeah,
Direwolf Alpha would do it as well. And this is going to be a juggle, and this is really important for StrifeCro to land this juggle, I think.
Yeah, if he misses this, that's not good. Not good.
End of analysis.
Yeah. Double brawl. Get past the brawl, you think you made it. Brawls you again.
Yeah, I mean, not really too many options here. The difference between Shield Block and Bash, which I think the Shield Block is probably going to get held here. You know, given that he's got 2 brawls to lead into this, if he picks up a Shield Slam, having Shield Block and Shield Slam for Darkshire Councilman could be very important.
Yeah.
But do you want to bash a 2/2? And the answer, if he's attacking a 1/1, he certainly wants to bash the Knife Juggler in this spot, which I actually think this is kind of a brilliant play here by the Rat, because what he's doing here is he's forcing either multiple trades on his opponent's 1/1s here, or forcing the Peddler to trade in, and just going to go with the immediate value, trading into the Peddler. I think this is fine as well, but you know, the idea that he had spotted a spot where he could put StrifeCro in a situation where he had to trade his 2/2 instead of the other way around, just showing that he's looking at everything.
Yeah. All right, well, not the best brawl here, especially since there's a 33% chance that this Darkshire Councilman comes out and it's buffed to a 3/6.
With 2 brawls, though, I think he's happy to make a play like this.
Yeah. Especially since he's got Sylvanas moving into the next one.
Yep. Wow, even the best result for him.
Yeah.
So StrifeCro going to reload the board here. And at 25, 24, I think the Rat's going to feel comfortable playing the Sylvanas here and kind of putting StrifeCro in that position where the second brawl is going to be devastating.
When you can play Sylvanas in a safe environment with Brawl in your hand against Zoo, you are feeling pretty good. And one thing about the Rat is, Zoo can reload pretty heavily nowadays and can reach very far. So you do have to find a way to win, but the Rat does have a lot of these big drops in his deck that are going to help him do so.
It's looking rough, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, do you just Defender Vargas and just push, hope he doesn't have second Brawl, hope he doesn't have a way to punish you for this? I think you have to.
Yeah, what other options does he have? And he's going to trade into Sylvanas? That looks miserable. I mean, I don't even think he can win if he trades into Sylvanas.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rat's hand would have to be really bad to win after that. Wow, I think he's trading into Sylvanas. He's hoping that it steals this M-Gang boss. Takes the initiate instead. Yeah, this was better. Touche. Maybe this was a way to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, protect the councilman from execute. That's the goal right here. Wow, touche, StrifeCro. Much better. Oh, revenge gets picked up.
Yeah.
Much worse.
Yeah. Punish. But so he's going to be able to revenge,
punish,
execute, and fit in an armor up if he wants to. He can even shield block. I mean, efficient armor ups is great, but I mean, you do have your next turn planned out, most likely with Rag. You will leave one on the board. The Rat's going to think of what, am I going to shield block this turn? And if so, I'm going to use that first. Am I just going to fit in an armor up this turn? What's the game plan after the rest here?
I think there's still some considerations to Brawl, but that's what he's going over right now. Is he found this fantastic turn with the revenge here, and it's looking like shield block's gonna be first. Maybe Shield Slam could just change the way you play this. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, this sort of makes the Brawl better, because you're leaving 2 minutes on the board, and your opponent's probably going to reload. You're not taking out 2 minutes, you're only taking out 1, so we'll see how much StrifeCro decides to load up on the board. Crazed Alchemist, not the best. I mean, it might just see a Knife Juggle here. I don't know how comfortable he feels with Crazed Alchemist. He might throw it onto the Defender Vargas to try and just push a little bit more damage.
I mean, passing up to Gormok activation is a little bit bad feeling, but if you get it online and it just actually hits your opponent for 4 a turn early, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. He's gonna think it over, make sure he makes the right call, but I doubt you expect the second Brawl, so you can probably just load up the board.
Yep, I think I like the Gormok here. Just get it active and try to start hitting your opponent. Like, you're clearly going to need a lot of repetitive damage this game.
Yeah.
And that's going to be pretty close to a shutdown. Wow, he's actually going to go with Ragnaros first. I'm a bit surprised by this. I mean, maybe he's just trying to get the last bit of resources from StrifeCro before this happens. Maybe just feels comfortable with his life total. Ragnaros got his work cut out for him. This is a lot of minions on board.
That's 10, 11 damage now with the juggle. Potential 13, 14 damage with Abusive Sergeant. Maybe he's trying to get him to attack in so he can just revenge and execute and isolate this Rag on the board.
That's definitely a good play too, is baiting revenges. I mean, revenge is certainly a major comeback card.
I don't think StrifeCro even thought about it for a second. He just went for it. He's going to get so punished.
Well, the juggler sticks around.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you what, Revenge and Bloodhoof Brave looks mighty good. And then he gets the execute here. That Bloodhoof Brave is a very strong draw.
Yeah.
And
Bloodhoof Brave, execute, and armor up.
It's the age-old question: do you kill the Knife Juggler or kill the 4/1?
I find myself asking that all the time.
Yeah, I think killing 4/1's better just for respect to Abusive Sergeant. If your opponent draws that, it's a very easy trade for them.
Yeah. I mean, I think either are good here. If you go face, then that means Score Howl plus anything next turn is lethal. We'll see what StrifeCro can pick up. Picks up Leroy Jenkins. That's not what you want.
He's got to go for Leroy. He doesn't have an option.
Yeah. And that is going to be game, I believe. No, because he can Mortal Coil down one of these 1/1s. Or he can kill the Rag with the Knife Juggler with the Mortal Coil.
I mean, I'm definitely Mortal Coiling here.
Yeah.
There's too much thought to it. StrifeCro's going face. And this is basically going to lock the game up at this point. Rat's down to 5. But look at this turn here. Gorehowl, smack face. Well, that's actually... No, that's not going to end it, but it's kind of the same thing. Yeah. So if you just Gorehowl and smacks face, the game ends here 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time he knocks out the Leroy Jenkins and doesn't die.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is sort of the same thing. He eliminates life tap by putting him at 2.
Yeah, this is exactly the same thing because same situation occurs. So he puts StrifeCro at 7. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
And then Leroy dies. StrifeCro has to peel 7 damage, and that's unless that's another Leroy Jenkins.
The second Leroy Jenkins.
Rat takes a quick 2-0 lead here.
All right.
Quick and control warrior are not often the words you use in the same sentence, but just really getting the job done, having an early fiery War Axe to just keep the board pressure under control, and then having Brawl Sylvanas, not even using the second Brawl in this instance. StrifeCro traded away the Sylvanas here, and I think that prevented that setup from that.
And now just a Reno Lock win away from moving on and securing this victory. And StrifeCro once again going to throw out the Zoo. Feels like he's got the win in his sights.
I'll tell you what. This matchup is usually pretty Zoo favored, but when the Rat draws Demon Wrath and Dark Peddler, that's the kind of start that usually it takes to win with this deck. Yeah. You need early action, you need something to take care of the initial swarm, and then you need ways to just put stuff on the board and keep it stabilized. And that's exactly what he has right now.
Yep. Even picks up the Sentient Shieldmaster to sort of just complete that curve. And we'll see what he picks up along those lines. Spellbreaker is decent. I mean, Darkshire counts him in. It could even just sort of be played into an Imp Gang boss to, make that beneficial trade.
Cormac could actually be really important in this game, given that this board is going to be so susceptible to Demon Wrath. And this is a real choice here, too. I mean, Soulfire is definitely good in this matchup, but Voidwalker, it's just a solid card in general. You know, you already play Voidwalker in your deck. You sometimes play Soulfire. StrifeCro is playing Soulfire. But is that a card you want multiple copies of? And he wants a Soulfire right now to be able to swing this board early in the face of something big coming out. Wow, Hellfire gets picked up, too. And Mortal Coil for him. I mean, again, just keep the gas going and keep the board under control. That's what the Reno deck's trying to do. Yeah.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Look at this. All of his cards right now are under 4 mana. How often do you see that as a Reno lock? I mean, this is exactly where you want to be if you're the Rat. And, I mean, the way that this is panning out, I feel like StrifeCro's going to play right into Demon Wrath this turn. Well, he's going to tap.
And true StrifeCro fashion wants to start getting the gas going early.
Yeah.
And like you said, playing the Demon Wrath. Possessed Villager does not spawn a demon. And Rat may not go for this Demon Wrath just right away. I mean, the fact that he's got Hellfire, now he's going to go for it right away. The fact that he has Hellfire in hand, he might choose to play this a little bit slower, but
yeah,
doesn't want to see Defender Vargas push too much damage and then the Hellfire set him too low. He wants to be able to sweep the board on the initial pushes here.
Yeah.
StrifeCro.
Not out of the woods yet, because this is still a really tough matchup. Because even if when you clear the board, the reload, you still have to be able to deal with it. You have a limited amount of AoE. You have a limited amount of threats. And again, more AoE.
AoE picked up. StrifeCro, even the Rat's taken aback by this. He's like, "Wow, I have everything."
So many possibilities.
Don't want to do that.
I think he's. Yeah. Like, what on earth is that point for? It's like maybe the direwolf alpha is a better target for this.
Now he's thinking, is it coin Senjin, which is actually quite weak to power overwhelming? Or is it just Earth Ring Farseer? Bring myself back up to 30.
What's the Earthen Ring weak to?
I mean, feels like it's just stronger. He can also just coin out Spellbreaker. I mean, how many silent targets are there in this deck? But looks like Senjin's going to be the play.
I think at this point, if he's going for the Senjin, he kind of wants to force out the rest of StrifeCro stuff.
Oh, that's a good draw.
It looks like it, but this is just going to commit more to the board to get swept up in this Hellfire. Everything's kind of working against StrifeCro right now just because of how good the Rat's hand is.
Yeah. Corruption. Huh.
He's going to corruption this and pass. That's the play.
Well, StrifeCro can just Spellbreaker his own Senjin.
Yep.
He's feeling frisky.
The Rat can, rather.
The Rat can, yeah.
Yep. It's been a long day here. We've been casting for over 10 hours at this point.
Well, tap Earth Ring Farseer is also something to consider. How much does he value the 3/3 body that's left over? Because it'll lose taunt, but he will sort of hold on to that board presence, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Sort of just nullifying the Dark Peddler draw from StrifeCro. And I mean, that's a lot of bird picked up, but can he get to that point is the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's starting to really add up. And I don't think StrifeCro is in the business of trading right now. Defender of Argus is pretty good.
It's pretty good, but it doesn't get that much done.
Well, pushes 2 extra damage, gets a 2/3 on the board, forces a trade from your opponent.
Yeah.
I'm liking the Argus here. I mean, this is a hard card to use in this matchup anyway. Alchemist that forces an awkward trade as well. But this is going to be potentially bad news for StrifeCro. Yep. I can think of a card that would have been really good, and that was it.
Yeah. A 2 mana, a Shadow Flame activator, clear the board, and StrifeCro just used so many resources to try and hold on to that board. And now, once again, it's all reset. And double Defender Argus. That's
hurts.
not looking good.
It hurts, TJ.
It really does.
That Senjin has gotten about 700 cards worth of value.
Give or take a few hundred.
That card's been disgusting this game.
Yeah.
I honestly think you could just heal it up.
Sure. Keep it going. I mean, tap's first case of business. Siphon Soul. I mean, probably going to be useful.
Just heal the Senjin and keep punching.
Yeah, and he's even going to Soulfire just to keep that board clear. I mean, why not? StrifeCro is actually getting to the point where he's falling pretty well. Siphon Soul probably doesn't want to see that go away. But, oh man, that is...
This is bad.
Oh man.
He's got 14 from hand, but none of his cards are good this turn.
Yeah.
And the Rat's about to start piling on damage. This is terrible news for StrifeCro.
Yeah. I mean, what do you even do? Do you just Soulfire, hope you discard Defender of Argus, try and gain back control of the board? Or just...
It It's not going to win that way.
Oh.
Oh, my. I mean, it's just the fact that it's an 8-8. Yeah, I think you just faceless one of your guys.
Yeah.
What's StrifeCro going to do? He's going to just die to 3-3s.
Yeah.
So many
Yikes.
possibilities.
I mean, he's going to push 8 damage this turn. He's going to put him below 10. Then what do you do? He's even going to just faceless.
Yeah, I agree. It's taunted, then it gets silenced, and then it gets buffed.
He doesn't even know what he wants.
I mean, maybe some light in this tunnel, but
I think this is just lethal. Not quite.
Yeah, it's lethal. He just... Oh, no, he doesn't have one next... Oh, my. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's just going to go for the 50-50 here. I mean, is there any way that this backfires? Either you clear the board and you win, or you win next turn, or you hit face and you win now.
Overwhelming and abusive sergeant.
No, he needs 20. 20 is impossible.
14. Yeah, 18. 5, 6. Oh, he doesn't have the mana. Oh,
Yo.
so close. He's so
This is looking a lot like last game. He just didn't have something stick on the board. That is actually pretty crazy. He's 2 damage off lethal after all that. If he taps into like abusive sergeant, I don't know if he even has one left, but that would just be taunting him. He would have the damage, just not the mana. Darkshire Councilman's not going to get him there.
Yeah, I mean, Hellfire sitting in Rat's hand. He's just got lethal multiple ways. StrifeCro fought as hard as he could, but the Rat, with just an amazing Reno Warlock curve, is going to close out this series 3-0 over StrifeCro and move on to tomorrow.
And not a good day for StrifeCro, but definitely put up some really interesting games and some good performances of some of those decks. Cthulhu Druid performed exceptionally. Just couldn't get it done with that zoo in that last series. Couldn't get it done with the mage earlier on in the day. But the Rat making it happen. I like to see that. So that's going to be the Rat and Shoop, which are the 2 players, the 2 qualified players moving on. So big nod to the qualified players for making it on. And they're going to join Terrence and Chalky. So Terrence M, Chalky, the Rat, and Shoop will be the 4 players battling it out tomorrow in the final playoff stage. First prize, of course, gets that $3,000 and trip to the land finals for an extra shot at a piece of $20,000 at PAX Prime at the end of the year. Lots of stuff on the line for those players, and lots of great games today.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved everything I've seen so far. Even in the earlier portions, just seeing unique decks brought from players who are just finally stepping into tournaments after playing Hearthstone. Some people signing up to play Hearthstone today. New players getting in, some experienced players versus some inexperienced ones. Showing you like kind of gradually